Scott Russell, the Global Freedom Movement. I've just been given a bit of thought to the Mark of the Beast. You know, it's something that anyone that's had any church background's given a bit of thought to, and I thought, let's just unwrap a bit of that. It's funny, you can read something about, I think it's in Revelation 12 or somewhere for those that are that way inclined to take a look. 666, the Mark of the Beast. Think about that in today's world. The left is far left, far right. Ultimately, the further you get either way, it starts to become the same thing, right? But, you know, they look at their propaganda and they're not ashamed of what they are. They expect everyone that doesn't agree with them to be ashamed of who they are. So, you know, they'll say you need to be diverse, you need to be accepting, but they're far from it. If you don't agree with them completely, there is no diversity and there is no acceptance, no care. In fact, it becomes far left and far right. And like I said, the further left, the further right you get, the more similar you become. And I think in the light of the Mark of the Beast, where it talked about, and that's been in the Bible for a long time, longer than you and I, and it talks about a mark on the forehead or the hand that you can't buy or sell without. And you know what's interesting is I was looking at this, and Bill Gates, the Gates Foundation, has funded research into basically a tattoo that is a vaccination record, and it's an invisible tattoo. And you know, I was thinking about that. I thought, you know, how would they bring this? It's obviously a progression, because all wrongdoing in our lives is a progression, and they are progressing towards complete control. I believe it's called the Antichrist because it is anti everything that a true spirit of Christ is. So it's anti-love, even though they speak love. You know, when love's in someone's life, they don't have to tell you they love you. I mean, it's nice when they do, but love is who they are. It's not what they do. And so they speak like we're loving. They're not. We'll destroy you unless you do and agree with what we say and believe. That's not love. That's self-righteous humanism. It's anti-Christ. Christ says, forgive those who persecute you. Love those who persecute you. Forgive. They don't forgive. You say something that's, you know, transphobic in their view, for instance, they'll destroy you. They'll destroy your reputation. They'll destroy your business. They'll destroy everything about you. And our American friends know that more than anybody. So it's anti-Christ, the attitude behind it. The actions, good, bad, or ugly, are in many ways irrelevant. It's the motivating spirit behind it. And that dictatorial spirit that dominates and says, you will do it our way, or we will destroy you. That is anti-Christ. Jesus said, I've come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. He didn't come to say, I've come to destroy you. I mean, ultimately, I think, in a sense, you know, it says, unless you forsake all, you can't be my disciple. He who wants to find his life must lose it. I think we all reach a point in our life we realise, then I just can't do this anymore. This whole world stinks. You know, you think you're getting ahead, and life's a journey of pain to lead us to God. And so anyway, Antichrist, think about it. Everything that Christ stands for, the globalist WEF agenda, is the opposite. I don't think they're going to be ashamed of the fact that they're going to think about it. They've done it with everything else. They will belittle that. They won't try to ignore 666 or the Mark of the Beast. In fact, when it gets to that point, they bring a mark out. They'll probably call it the Mark of the Beast. They'll probably call it the 666, and it'll be on the news with people mocking the Bible, because they don't even think that God's relevant. So they're not going to respect that. They're not in fear of that. They think, I have complete power to do whatever I want. I am God. That's their thinking. Whatever terms they want to think that in. And we've seen WEF videos where they're saying, we're God. You know, and the only people that stand in our way are these believers. Well, think about it. They're going to have the media that they own, the propaganda machine, on there mocking and saying, oh, you know what? We called this the mark of the beast. And when you get the mark, it's actually 666, and they will mock, and people will be like, yeah, that's right, because I believe right now we're in a polarization of the world. People are either for the spirit of death or the spirit of life. I think many people have been offended by the religion that's pumped Jesus and pumped, their opinions on what that should look like. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the unconditional love of Christ, where Jesus himself said, greater love has no man than he lays down his life for his friend. And I think that's our answer to what's coming, to the Antichrist. Greater love has no one than he lays down his life for his friends. And I think it gets back to some of these other videos I've made where it becomes, when I cut, you bleed. When you cut, I bleed. And it's not because we're doing deals. Come on, you've all been there. You've met somebody somewhere in your life and just gone, man, I've known you 5 minutes. I feel like I've known you forever. I'd actually do anything for you. They call you at 2 a.m. and you're like, I'm there. Or you wake up at 2 a.m. and you're like, man, I just feel like I'm supposed to be texting that person. You text them and they're like, oh, thank God you did that. I just was going right through it right now and you sent me that message. I just feel so connected. That's the answer. They don't have that. The globalists, the World Economic Forum, they don't believe in that. They don't have it. They've been touched by it and invited to it, but they projected it. That's God. That's the love of Jesus. That's what we surrender to, not some religious, bigoted system that's no different to the globalists and the World Economic Forum wanting to dictate to you how you should look. To me, my relationship with Jesus, which, if you're going to get offended at it, that's fine. It's not really my problem. Turn the video off. But my relationship is unconditional love. It's not somebody dictating to me what I should and shouldn't do. It's this love that I feel where I'm going like, man, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to cheat on that love? That love is so encompassing, so embracing, so warm, so fulfilling, so accepting. That love of Jesus that's unconditional. It's not a head knowledge. I don't understand it. I can't control it. I can't teach it. All I can do is enter it. And when it touched me, I felt like I've known this forever. I've known this person forever. I've just never surrendered my life to him. But now I surrendered. I said, that love, Lord Jesus, I don't understand it. My brain never will. In fact, I'm offended at the religion of it. But I surrender to you. Take my life. Let's become one. And that was a beautiful moment. That's the answer to the Antichrist. They can't beat that. So now you'll just, they want to take your food. Somebody will always have food. They'll turn up. But I've got to say, USA, they are coming after you with everything they've got. My videos are still blocked for me directly sharing them into the USA. So if you're in America or you have friends in America, share this to the Americans. They are blocking these types of videos. They're making sure people can't join our groups still. They are actively in fear of what we bring. Freedom. They don't have it. And freedom just pulls people to them. Control repels. You can control and come up with a wonderful idea why this control is so wonderful. Everybody hates being controlled. The spirit of who it is. We're born to be free. You're born to be free. I'm born to be free. And we are. If you're not, you can be. Just flow. Do what I was just talking about for my life. Be open to that. Then, in America, they are. And I believe I can say this. I couldn't say it any firmer. They are collapsing your currency. Your currency is, I saw a vision of it 20 years ago. It's in a book I wrote 11 years ago. Currency that deep on the streets. Your money is gone. If you are putting your faith in your money, it's gone. It's only a matter of time. And you think with inflation, they just devalue your money. Devalue it, devalue it, devalue it. So now if I've got $1,000 US and I want to buy a loaf of bread, and it's costing me $1,000. You go, oh, that's crazy. Yeah, well, it's happened in plenty of places around the world. And I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm giving an example. You know what they do? They come in with a new currency where your loaf of bread costs $1 again. So they say, well, you can stay with the US currency, or you can take our new BRICS currency, or whatever it is. And if you take this, you're signing on to things. You're signing away your soul. You're doing a deal with the devil. It won't just be money. Money's meaningless. It'll be what's behind that. If you are in this, you know, and I do believe somewhere along the line they will probably, just to mock God, just to poke it in the eyes of the Christians that you think that this is an antichrist thing. It absolutely is, and to you, you know, and it's going to be called the Mark of the Beast, and there will be a 666 in there somewhere, and they will make light of it, they will make jokes of it, they will mock for it, and they'll be proud of it. But they'll say, you know, you can keep your old currency, which will ultimately collapse, or you can embrace our new one, and our new one, you can feed your family. Our new one, you can work for more. You'll own a bigger house. You'll have a nice car. Normal will return, because everybody craves for normal. You'll have normal. And people will line up for it. But when you're in the spirit of life, you won't. It'll be no way. Something just tells me I am not going near that. Follow that. My friends in America, stand strong. The world needs you. And the longer you stand, the longer it'll take for this thing to come into play. And I do believe we're going to get it anyway. And I don't believe things are changing. In some parts of the world, they say, it's normal. Life's pretty much gone back to normal. No, what they've done is they've already passed the laws they need to pass so that when they start collapsing the global economy, the laws are in place to already bring about the authoritarian control. So if it's quiet where you are, there's a pretty good chance they've already succeeded in getting through what they need through. So they don't have to push the boundaries anymore. Basically, your culture laid down. You took it. But there's others that are rising up. And, you know, I've watched as we've run these global groups. It goes in waves around the world, different countries fighting different things. But they're all ultimately fighting the exact same thing. The Mark of the Beast. It's on the way. And I think you don't have to be scared that, what if I slip up and take it? I think they're going to call it that. You won't slip up. You'll know, because you'll know inside of you that you don't want to give your freedom up for this wicked thing. So God bless you. Keep preparing. Follow the peace. I don't think there's one blanket answer. If there was, they'd come against it. For you, follow that peace. And if that peace is telling you get gold, then get gold. Not fear. If peace is telling you get chickens, then get chickens. If peace is telling you store food, store some food. But I don't believe you'll be able to store enough food for what's coming. And, you know, the Bible talks about storing up treasures where moth and rust, you know, destroy, but then storing up a treasure in heaven. Store up your treasure in heaven. If you don't know, look at some of my other videos. I touch on it. I'm not a super religious person. I'm a super relationship person. And I don't know. I haven't met a lot of you. I love you in the sense that I can see we're of the same spirit. Love some of your comments, good, bad, or ugly. It really doesn't bother me. I just enjoy the fact that we're in this together and we're going to make it. We're going to make it. So, yep, we got some challenging times ahead and some difficult times. But if you're in that spirit of love, love conquers all. God bless you.